I saw a discussion the other day on Facebook between a bunch of detailers, and they were talking about how to price services for their family members. And I was looking at the comments, and there was a wide variety of responses. It was quite the diverse reaction. And so I started thinking about it, what's the appropriate way to price or quote relatives or family, friends and family discount? That's what they call it, right? And I'll say there's no right or wrong way to do it, I don't think. What's right for one person may not be right for another. But there was one thing that stood out to me that I thought was very important. So some people say, no freebies, no discounts, it's service, I gotta make money. Totally fine, respectable. Some people say mom and dad are free, but everyone else pays, or everyone else gets a small discount, that kind of stuff. And this doesn't matter what field you're in, If you're a carpet cleaner, and it kind of depends on the job, right? If you're a mechanic, for any job, you're going to be quoting the material or supplies used, obviously, because you're not going to be losing money. But if it's a big job, someone's building your house, building you a basement, something like that, then it might be a little bit different. But if it's something smaller like a detail, where the possibility of doing it for free is a real thing, then you need to kind of figure this out. But the point I'm getting at, that was a little off topic, and I kind of distracted myself. But the point is, find out what you're okay with. I worked on my brother's car, and I had no problem charging him full rate. That's fine with me, but maybe someone else is a little more generous, and maybe not. Doesn't matter. But the important thing is, and this is what I'm trying to get to, is your friends and family, they have a secret weapon that you can exploit out of them, and that is Google reviews. We all know how important Google reviews are, and we also know that people don't like to give them. Ask 10 people, maybe one person will leave you one if you're lucky. You got to build a system where you can capitalize and get those reviews. But with your family members, you can ask for reviews, and the best part is you can ask them over and over and over until they do it. I'm not saying get several reviews by them, because that's kind of messed up. But if you ask your customer, they'll say they'll do it, and then they don't. Do you ask that customer again? Sure, maybe a second time. What if they don't do it? How many times are you going to ask them until they do it, or before you get the hint, right? You can't do that. With your family members and your close friends, you can say, hey, this is really important to me, just leave me a review. And if they're grateful for the service, they'll write you a glowing review. And if they don't, get on them next week. Say, hey, how about that review? And this obviously depends on your relationship. You obviously don't want to drive, a review is not worth your relationship. You don't want to drive a wedge between anyone. But if you're comfortable with the person, like I am with my family and friends, you can harass them a little bit more and get that review, and you can get those reviews. I don't think there's anything wrong with getting family members to write you a review. Don't give them a script or anything. Make it authentic, but you can just apply more pressure on them to actually give you the review. So that's my tip and trick with family members. Find out what you're comfortable with quoting them, and then just be consistent or change it as needed. It doesn't really matter, but make sure you get that review, because it'll definitely pay back.